We all accumulate it over time. We give it the golden invitation through our front doors while more sneaks in through the back. Will all these things ever be enough to satisfy the deeper sense of belonging within? A year ago, I wouldn't be able to answer this question, but now things have changed a lot. I am part of a family of 3. And in the summer of 2022, we chose to move from our 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo into a 5th wheel, which now has a total of 2 areas, one for living and kitchen and the other for bathroom and bedroom. In this move, we had to get rid of a lot of stuff. Furniture, appliances, and now looking back at it, a lot of really useless stuff. Things that just sat in the closet, or a duvet that stored more stuff that never saw the light of day. We were caught in the consumerism life, and more things started to pile than I could manage. My relationship started to crumble, and especially being new parents, everything was just falling apart. Mentally and physically, we were cluttered and unhappy. We knew that change needed to happen to our family. We needed to declutter our lives. So I made a 3-step system of decluttering, as well as 3 more tips on how to maintain your space. Step number 1, finding purpose in each area or room. The goal of this first step is to create purpose in our home. First, let's think of the intentions of each room. So grab a notebook or paper and write down each room and what your intentions are with those rooms. Example, the living room is for family, relaxing, watching TV. The bedroom is for sleeping. The office is strictly just for work. You get the point. It's pretty simple. Now, in each room, briefly go over the things that are and aren't benefiting the use of that room. A simple example is your bedroom. Its purpose is mainly for sleeping. And if you want to have good sleep, you will maximize that room to get the best sleep in the world. Items you might find that have the most purpose would be blackout curtains or a really comfortable pillow and mattress. The items in there that probably won't benefit your sleep is a big TV screen or maybe a bunch of electronics and computers that keep you up till the crack of dawn. And for smaller areas like a working desk, not a gaming desk, you won't find your gaming PC there, or maybe your phone to distract you from doing your work. Maybe you'll find a notepad for jotting down important ideas. This step is the most important, and you must apply it to anywhere where anything happens, no matter how big or small. Step number 2, sorting time. Now that you have established a purpose and your intentions with each room, we can start by taming the physical beast. I want to say this before, but I myself used to be a little knick-knack collector, and let me tell you, you should never feel ashamed of collecting these things. But with experience, I've seen that over time they lost their value and they lost their meaning, and they were just taking up space. But by letting go and getting rid of some of those things, I was able to create a new space, a fresh start for more important things to come into my life. So, enough said about my story, let's get sorting. Now, there's a couple examples I want to give for sorting out your needs versus your wants. Quick note, there really shouldn't be any in between of a need versus a want. Now, if you need your PS5 for the sole purpose of having downtime with your family and enjoying time together, then so be it. I'm not telling you to get rid of absolutely everything. But be aware of the things that have just been piling up in the back corner or maybe a shoebox in the closet. Those are the things we're going to focus more on. If you want to keep something just for the sake of having it, or maybe like the fear of missing out on something with it, either find a good meaning and purpose for it, maybe consider donating it or just throwing it away. The strategy. Now, I learned this from a couple guys on the channel called The Minimalist, where he packed up every single item in his home in moving boxes. And over a month or so, he would take out only the items that he absolutely needed to use, therefore giving it its purpose back. And for the rest of the things in the home, he just removed them or donated them. Now, this all might sound a little extreme and a lot of work, but I would suggest a smaller take to this. Example. You want to go through those kitchen junk drawers, which I all know you have because I have one too. Make some space and some time for either packing it up in a small box or moving it all out onto a table where it can all be seen. Now, you can either do it the way that I stated before, where you only take what you need over the next month, or you can just go through it manually. Now, for larger junk dropping areas, I would suggest the first method. But based on the general items and spaces around your house, you may not need so much space. I suggest just trying both methods to see what works and what is more efficient for you. And remember to refer back to your purpose and goal list for each area. You want to make sure you really define what your wants are and what your needs are. Nothing in between. Step 3, organizing. You should now be left with mostly the needs. And let me tell you, it's easier said than done. So I applaud you if you're getting to this step. And it even might take a couple tries to really filter through everything. But now that hopefully 80 to 90% of your things are sorted and have a purpose, it's time to organize. Now, I can tell you a million ways you can organize. There's hundreds of hours of videos that you could watch on organizing, and I'm trusting you to do some of the work on that to see what really works for you. But my advice is that for the things that really do help you achieve your goals, you will need a designated space for them. Since you know that they serve you now and serve towards your intentions and goals, you want to make a cozy little home for them. You want to take care of these things that are the most important to you. If you find that over time your goals might have changed and the items that you have no longer serve you, it's okay to let go of them. That's a part of this whole process, is letting go so you can have space for more. You can always bring those items back later if your mind changes. Now to the fun part, maintaining your environment. Tip number 1, ask yourself these questions. I could just say, don't bring anything else into your home, but that's no fun. So here's 3 questions for when you are shopping before you put it into your shopping cart. First, ask yourself, is this a want or a need? The second question to ask yourself is, what is its intention? What is its purpose? How does it fit well into my home without looking like a cluttered mess? The third question, when you are going to purchase an item, try to list out 2 or 3 things that you already have at home that can be used in its place. If you have concluded that you are bringing this into your home, make sure it has a purpose and make sure you take care of it. Tip number 2, create a schedule. It's good to set yourself a schedule for actually taking care of and maintaining the spaces and things in your home. This could be weekly or daily. One daily habit of mine is that I love to write on sticky notes. I list out all the big and small tasks of the day, and I usually tend to group in all of the smaller chores into one time frame. But I'll get back to that in a minute. On a weekly basis, it's wise to plan ahead a day where you can go through the steps of decluttering. It will take some time to fit in decluttering and intentional thinking into your schedule, but you do need to make time for it. Now, if setting a weekly or daily schedule sounds daunting, this next step is a smaller version, and personally, I use this every single day. This little guy is something that has helped me tremendously when cleaning an area or doing what I like to call resetting a space. For smaller tasks and daily chores that seem so boring and I'm procrastinating on, I don't want to start them, all I set a little 5-minute timer just to start it. I do 5 minutes, no more, no less. If it's something like maybe vacuuming, since my house is so small, maybe I'll set like 10 or 15 minutes. But this timer keeps me accountable to just getting started because I know the task of cleaning is very important and it's not something that we all want to do every day. Setting this timer actually helps me focus on the tasks that I need to get done. And if timers don't work, try putting a number to the task. For example, I will pick up 3 pieces of clothing, or I will organize 5 things on my desk. There's no need to overcomplicate these things. Just set a timer or set small numbers. Starting small is better than not starting at all. Decluttering your home can seem like a bigger task than it actually is. By starting small and committing to these steps and tips that I've shared, I'm able to live happily in an RV with my family of 3 and 1 dog, with plenty of breathing room. Now, you may not live in an RV, but it really goes to show that any space, no matter how big or small, can be transformed into a more meaningful and inspirational one. Free your space and free your mind. I can assure you that things are not the only thing that will make you happy in this life. If you've gotten this far, I want to say I deeply thank you for joining me and getting to the end. I really hope that you try out some of these steps and tips to get your mind and space clutter-free.